Are you somebody who wants to be more intuitive and you're wondering how to gain intuition? Check out this video for my secrets. My name is Tiffany Toombs. I'm a high-performance mindset coach that has worked with thousands of people across the world to help them let go of self-sabotage patterns and step into their true power. Now, one of the most common things that I hear from people is that they just aren't intuitive. They don't have that ability. The truth is that we all have the ability to be intuitive. Intuition is like a muscle. The more we practice it and the more we strengthen it, the stronger it becomes. But we have to flex it and we have to know the ways to develop it. So in this video, I'm going to share with you my top 3 ways to develop intuition so that you can become more connected both to yourself and to the universal energies around us. So one of the first things that we need to do in order to really connect to our intuition is we have to heal any lingering trauma, any unresolved emotional baggage or negative emotions that we're holding on to, and we need to move our nervous system out of a state of fight or flight. Trauma is a human condition. We have all experienced it and we all have it because the global pandemic that we've just spent the last 2 years in is considered traumatic. Add on top of that, any breakups, any childhood stuff that you had, we all have trauma. The human condition and the human journey is about learning how to heal and release that trauma so that you're no longer governed by it. Now, when we have trauma or we have stressful experiences that have happened throughout our life, our nervous system becomes primed and calibrated to be in a state of fight or flight, which means it feels like something could harm us or attack us at any point in time. And so we must be hypervigilant. We must be on the lookout for what could do those things. When you're in a state of survival, it is almost impossible to listen to your intuition because oftentimes the fear is so overpowering that that's all that we can hear. And most people will actually believe that their fear is their intuition and they'll want to disconnect from it. They'll actually actively disconnect from it because they don't want to hear that message. And I'll talk more in a moment about how you can differentiate between fear and intuition. We also, throughout our life, learn to disconnect from our intuition. Now, let's say growing up, you had a series of experiences where maybe you came home from school or from playing with your friends and you saw one of your parents visibly upset. And you could feel as you walked into the house or into the room that something wasn't right. You know, when you walk into a room and you feel like you can cut the tension with a knife, that's what I'm talking about. Now, you're a kid and let's say you say to your parent, "Mom, Dad, what's wrong? Are you okay?" And because they don't want to dump their problems on you, they'll often respond with something like, "Yeah, I'm totally fine. Look, I'm smiling. Everything is great." When this happens repeatedly through our life, what we learn is that we can't trust the feelings in our body that are telling us something's not right here, something's happening, something is wrong, and we instead have to believe what people say. I'm speaking from a place of experience here where every narcissist I've ever been involved with, the first time I met them, I had a bad gut reaction to them, like a stay away from this person. But because I had learned to disconnect from that feeling and to believe what people say, because they, through their words, told me that they were a good person in some way, I believed them until it was too late and I got hurt. So, we have to heal the trauma, heal our nervous system, recalibrate it to stress so that we can even begin to rebuild that bridge between us, between our body and our mind, between us and our intuition, so that we can start to listen to it again. I have plenty of other videos on my channel about how to heal trauma. I encourage you to check those out. Before I share with you the next thing that we need to do in reconnecting to our intuition so that we can be more intuitive, I want to hear from you. Those situations that I described from childhood that create the disconnection. Did you experience something like that? Go to the comments below and let me know. The second thing that we need to do is we need to learn to differentiate between the fear and the intuition, like I mentioned before. We actually have to learn how to start deciphering what our body is attempting to tell us. Now, fear will sound very disempowering, very negative, where our intuition, even if it's telling us to be aware or to be cautious of a person or a situation, will still have an empowering tone to it. Now, I don't want to demonize negative emotions like anger and like fear because they exist for a reason. And in fact, all of our emotions exist to give us a message. Fear tells us that something could possibly harm us or hurt us in some way, and so we want to proceed with caution. Problem is that most people feel fear and they read it as a stop sign. Stop, don't go any further, and they stop taking action. It's actually a yield sign. Hey, slow down, make sure that you've got all your options sorted, and then move forward. Anger tells us that somebody has crossed a boundary or hurt us in some way. Sadness and grief tells us that we've experienced some sort of loss or heartache and that we need to take some time to recover and to heal from that. Guilt and shame tell us that we've reacted or we've acted in a way that might be out of alignment for ourselves or for the situation, and that we need to make amends. So even in learning to listen to your intuition, we don't want to disconnect from your emotions. We want to listen to the array of messages that our body gives us and learn how to decipher those messages. I'm going to show you how to decipher those messages in just a moment. Before I do that though, I just want to remind you to subscribe to my channel. I am putting out brand new content every single week to help you have the tools that you need to heal trauma, heal your nervous system, overcome any mental blocks, and step into your power, purpose, and potential. So go ahead and click that subscribe button and like this video while you're there. Now, as you start developing the ability to listen to your emotions and to your intuition, you might need a little bit of help deciphering what the message is. There's a couple activities that you can do that are my absolute favorite ways to start to decipher these messages, but also to learn how to receive them better. The first is through meditation. Now, if you're looking to receive messages or to decipher what the message is, this needs to be not a guided meditation. You can have music playing in the background, but ultimately you want to have space for you to start to understand. You might like to ask yourself a question. Some people will ask the question once and then just listen for whatever words pop into their head, recognizing that that is the answer to the question. Some people, if they feel like there's not really an answer coming, they might ask the question over and over until they hear the answer more clearly. The other way that you can do this is through a journaling technique called stream of consciousness writing. And with this technique, what you do is you decide to either write for 3 pages or for 15 minutes. Either option works. And what you're going to do is you're going to write the question that you have at the top of the page, and then any words that pop into your head, you're just going to write them down on the page. It doesn't need to make sense at the time. And initially, you might struggle a little bit with hearing the words. And in that case, just write down, I don't know the words that are in my head. I don't know the words that are in my head. And you'll start to hear your thoughts after some time. Now, it will be in your voice, which is why most people discount what they're hearing because they're like, well, that just sounds like me. Of course it sounds like you, it's in your head, but it is your intuition that's speaking to you. Getting away for time in nature is a great way to slow the frequency in the body so that you can hear better. In fact, it's recommended that we spend at least 30 minutes a day in nature. This could be a park, it could be sitting beside a tree. Just getting away from your technology will help slow your body frequency down. The last way that we can learn how to listen to our intuition is through silence and stillness. When there's always external noise or things going on, when we're always talking, when we're always moving, it becomes harder for us to really bring our focus and our attention to our intuition. If we just eliminate all the distractions, find silence and stillness, even if it's just for a couple minutes a day, we start to rebuild that connection between our body and our mind so that we can start hearing our intuition at a deeper level. Now, if you want a guided meditation that's going to help you reconnect with your intuition on a deeper level, I have put together a free guided meditation for you to do just that. All you have to do to get instant access is go to www.meditationwithtiffany.com or click on the link in the description below. Thanks for watching.